Hello and welcome to this edition of Take the Fear Out the Gear with me, Mr. Chumley Warner.
And me, Jason Bangers. Today is another repair video.
And it's the Akai S900.
Have a little look.
Here we are in the workshop again. This is part 2 of the renovation of the S900 sampler. Part 1 we installed the Gotek floppy drive emulator. Now the backlight has arrived, knob for the front as well, and we'll just recap because I'll put it on and you can see how dim the display is. So you can probably see in the camera, and it looks to me like it's actually got no backlight in, but it has. So it's really dark. I've taken the lid off. Here's how to do it. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 screws here on each side for the rack ears. Then you've got one screw here, and then in the middle here you've got another screw, and then 2 screws on the other side, and undo those and you can take your lid off. The next thing to do, because we want to get to the backlight, we've got 1, 2, 3 screws on the top here and the same on the bottom. Just be careful when you take this off because there's little washers underneath here. And the other thing we need to do is on the right hand side we need to take the 3 knobs off on the right there so we can get the faceplate off. So what I've done, I've just dabbed the soldering on these 2 wires which are here and here and just put them off to here for a minute. And then all I've done is got a little screwdriver, just gently put that under there and just dab the soldering on there and there, and these 2 little connections are now free. So I'm going to try and get a pair of pliers and then we'll just gently pull the backlight out. I thought the backlight would slide out easier, but it won't. So what I've had to do, I've taken out this screw, and I think there's another one there, and I've taken this connector out, lift the display out, and then we'll put it on the workbench, and that should be a lot easier. Normally you can take the old backlights out and just slip the new one in, but this one here, this Akai one, this is solid, so this is not going anywhere. But luckily here's the new backlight, and I'll put the link in the description for the company. Luckily they put a sticker on the back so you know which is the back of the backlight, and all you do, there's enough room to just put it in front of the old backlight and slide it in. So I probably could have done this whilst the display was still in the sampler, but not having done one of these before, it's all trial and error. Push it all the way in. We'll just cut these terminals to length so you can solder on here, and then we'll put the display back in and see if it powers up. Put a screw back in there to hold the display, put the connector back on there. What I've done is I've soldered the wires back on first. This is the new backlight. I've slid that in over the top of the old one, and that makes it easier because you've got the 2 contacts of the backlight here, and just bend them slightly in towards the circuit board, just a dab of solder each side, and then you're in business. So now I'll put these 2 screws back in here, put it all back together, and we'll test it and see how the backlight looks. Okay, so we've got the lid and everything back and the faceplate on the S900. Obviously, as we said, there's 1, 2, 3 screws for the faceplate and washers, and the same on the bottom. The rack ears are 4 screws each on each side, another 2 screws on each side, and 1 at the back. And then what we've also got to do, if I just hold that there, I found like a control knob on eBay. It's 35mm in diameter. Should be able to just, it's a splined control knob, so if I just put that on there, look at that, that's perfect. So that just finishes it off. It's very similar to the original Akai ones with like a dark grey colour. That's nice, that fits fine. The only other thing left to try is to switch her on and see what the display looks like. Definitely looks a lot brighter. I can actually read it from here. You can adjust the contrast as well. Let's see if we can load a program. So we'll go to disk, clear memory and load entire disk. Press enter, so we'll do that. And it's loading the Akai welcome program again.
Welcome to the Akai S900 Operation Guide Disc.
So emulator's in, got a new knob here, new backlight in, quite easy to do once you've sussed it, and that's about as much restoration as we can do on the S900 for the moment.
So another informative video from Mr. Chumley on the old soldering iron there, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you found it useful. We hope that come in handy for you from this edition of Take the Fear Out the Gear. It's goodbye from him, Mr. Chumley Warner.
And it's goodbye from him, Mr. Jason Bangers.
See you on the next one. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe and click that bell.